Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm. It has been a little while since we put a video out, just due to the fact that we have been crazy busy knocking projects off our list and getting inside around 8-9 o'clock every night. We haven't had time to start editing videos and the likes, so we have kind of prioritized our priority list, and we're hoping to get back on the YouTube wagon pretty quick here. So we got tons of stuff done. I did a video in May with our goals for like May, and I kind of wanted to do a monthly update. So May happened, then June happened, and now it's the first week of July. So this video is long overdue. We've got a ton of stuff done since I last gave you guys an update, and I think where we left off, we were fencing this bottom field. So we got this entire bottom field fenced off. We rotated the horses, cows, and chickens through that field, and I kind of thought that field would give us 2 or 3 months of grass, and it was gone in like 2 weeks, if that. Those 2 horses and 2 cows destroy a field. Especially when it's in a dry, arid region where we don't get a ton of rain. The grass is fairly sparse and it's not irrigated. So yeah, the animals just destroyed it. So about partway through May, we decided we had to cross fence the top of the property because there's a ton of grass up there. We just didn't have any fencing. So we kind of So we cross-fenced the top half of the property. I put barbed wire for part of it, and then I did electric fence, installed a few gates, and the cows have been up there for the last 2 months. The horses were up there for a little bit, but the horses are really fat, and we decided to pull the horses out of there. They were eating too much. They need to lose some weight. So we fenced off an area in here that we can separate the horses. We can take the horses off the field, and then they stay in here and work off some of that food. So we also installed a water line to our chicken coop. There's about 150 feet of water line, which stretched all the way down from our well shed all the way up to the shop, and then it teed off to the chicken coop. So I also ran a line directly into the coop on the inside. That is going to help us so much in the winter. We don't have to cart buckets of water out there every single day. That alone takes us, a good half an hour every single day of the winter. That's going to save us days of time. We're doing our best to make everything on this farm as efficient as possible, and carrying buckets of water all winter is not efficient. We still have to clean this out. A bit of a mess. So we have 130 Cornish cross broilers. We brooded them in there, and we had the pigs on this side. So we ended up getting our broilers a little bit too early this year, and it is mid-July and it still feels like March. So we had to keep them in here quite long because I was a little worried about putting them out in the chicken tractor that we built. I'm gonna go show you my chicken tractor quick. So behind me you can see my chicken tractor. It is quite possibly the ugliest chicken tractor on the internet, but it's all built out of used materials that we have lying around the farm. It cost me absolutely zero. The frame is an old car tent that I picked up from one of my neighbors, and then the roofing is just old aluminum roofing off of that house back there, and the rest is just some odds and ends we have laying around. These guys are getting quite large. So I move this thing. We have a lot of birds in here. I move this thing every day. We're moving it through this field, and I'm hoping that it helps remineralize this thing. And then behind me here I have a round pen. So that was another one of our tasks that we had in our May video, was to set up this round pen. This is for Hannah to work with the horses. Gives her somewhere to run them do all the horsey stuff. This is it. These things are super simple to set up. It only took us half of the afternoon, maybe. It took us most of the time just to level this whole thing out, make sure it's nice and level. Putting them together is just like clipping pieces together. So that is Hannah's round pen. She spends a fair bit of time in there with the horses, tiring them out. We also got the front gates installed at the front of our property. That was a long time coming, just because when you go away for a couple days, you know, you always want to be able to lock your property up. So, and the other thing is we put deer fence all the way around the property. We wanted to have a gate so that the deer don't just walk in. So one thing that has been on our priority list every single month since like March is the roof on this shop. It's still not done. It's just tar papered or whatever, roof felted. That is a major priority. I'm hoping I can get to it this weekend, but I mean, I've said that every weekend for the last like 30 weeks. Maybe not 30. Yeah. Every weekend for the last 20 weeks I've been saying this roof's a priority. It's still not done. Hannah has been staining the posts around the garage to match the house. You can see how it's shaping up. So that thing is slowly coming together. We did get some garage doors on the front of it, and yeah, so this garage roof is the main priority for the rest of July. We have lots of other little things we want to get done, but that's number one. Hannah's told me I'm not allowed having a garden this year, just because of our priority lists. We don't have time to garden. Gardening takes a lot of time. But I snuck in some potatoes. I got 2 rows of potatoes here and here. I got some Yukon Golds and some reds, and then I also have some onions planted beside them. And whenever I have bonus time, I come out here and I've been weeding away at it. This whole garden area here, this is gonna be our garden. We're gonna have some raised beds closer to the house. That's gonna be for all of our, you know, lettuces and salad greens, carrots and stuff like that. But we're also gonna have a large in the field garden down here. And you can kind of see I have this thing kind of benched. This whole thing kind of, let's see here, it's sloped down here fairly steep. So I leveled it all off as best I could. You can kind of see I have a retaining wall, not a retaining wall, but I leveled it off. I got a bank and I got a lower level here. So that top half is going to be a garden. This bottom half is going to be more garden, probably garlic down here, and then hopefully the rest of this part here just kind of like a food forest type, perennials, raspberries, blueberries, all that good stuff. We've had the pigs going through here. So I don't know if any of you guys deal with quack grass. Oh, see all this green? This is all quack grass. I had no idea how bad quack grass was. So I've had the pigs down here. They have been digging away. Look how much they've been down here for not even that long, and underneath that whole entire tarp they have rooted up every rhizome all the way over to here, and I'm slowly moving them with this cattle panel. It usually takes them about 4 or 5 days to completely demolish this 16 by 16 square. They've been doing a great job of that, and then I come behind them and I just cover it up with a tarp just so those rhizomes don't get any sun. I mean, this is the blueberries I planted. I'll post a little video up there. I planted these blueberries in the spring, and I just mowed this stuff, but it was 2 feet high. So I'm gonna have to do something creative here. I completely underestimated how bad this quackgrass was. So I don't know if any of you have any tips on quackgrass. I have a little bit of an idea of how I'm gonna manage it. I'll make a separate video about that. But look at this. These blueberries aren't gonna do very well with this much competition. So I've been trying out a little, I have been scraping away, pulling it all out all the roots and stuff right around the plant, layering up like 3 or 4 layers of cardboard, and then putting 8 inches of wood chips down. I don't know if that's gonna be enough, because if you just leave a little bit, those bloody things just shoot right through anything. And I have a feeling this is not gonna be enough. So if you guys have any tips on how to deal with quackgrass, please leave them in the comments. I am very open to suggestions. Currently, what I'm doing right now is I'm just picking it all up and then covering it with a tarp to stop them from getting any sun. But I've got a huge area. I want to destroy this whole area and keep it quackgrass free. Got the chickens behind me in the field. We've got about 40 left, and they just run through the field eating bugs, eating grass, all that good stuff. We've got 50 more of them coming. 50 more bovine browns. So there are other projects that we've gotten done that I can't really think of off the top of my head, and this video is getting long enough as it is. And it's hard because doing all these projects, we still have our day-to-day tasks. We have the 40 or 50 laying hens. We got 130 Cornish cross. We have 2 pigs, we have 2 cows, 2 horses, 3 kids. Like, we homeschool our kids, which Hannah does the majority of that. I kind of help out when I can, but it's busy. So anyone who says that, you know, we're going to the simple life, we just want to go have a simple life in the country, it's not that simple. It's complicated. It's extremely busy, especially this time of year. So getting all these projects done while doing all those things, which is why we haven't been making YouTube videos, just because we just simply don't have the time. We're developing this farm from scratch, so you know, we're doing everything right from the very beginning. So our jobs for the rest of the summer are include, but are not limited to, the roof on the shop. That is number 1. It's got to get done. I can't leave that any longer. I gotta stop putting it off. It's gonna get really hot here quick, and I don't really want to be roofing in 33 degrees. Once the roof's done, I can get the windows and doors installed. I can finish Tyvecking, and I can get it ready for inspection. I've got to clean out that chicken coop I was showing you. I got to get all of that cleaned out, and I've got to get all that cleaned out and put it in a compost pile, as we need that compost in this garden badly. Our soil is lacking in nutrition. We need to beef it up, and I'm counting on that compost for next year's garden. The other major project, if all goes well, if we get the roof finished, if we get the other stuff installed, is I got to get a fence across the creek. So there's a creek that runs all the way along the bottom of the property, and we haven't been able to get a fence across because it's been flooding, and the water level is just too high. So we have to get a fence across there. The deer are sneaking in. Every once in a while we'll find 5 or 6 deer that have snuck into the property. So that's a big priority for the list. And if we get all those things done, we are going to start building the kids a playhouse. So our kids have been great. We are very busy. They help out all the time. They're hard little workers, and I think they deserve to have a good playhouse. So if we get all those things done, we're going to build them a playhouse. And yes, we will try and post a little more regularly. I apologize for not keeping you guys up to date. It's not that it's hard, it's just that when you get home from work and you want to start your projects, you want to get stuff done, the last thing you want to do is sit down and start filming. It makes everything take 10 times longer. So, but we'll get back in the saddle and we will we'll keep you guys updated, take you guys along for the ride. So thank you for watching. I have been posting on Instagram, so if you guys want to keep up to date on what we're doing, go follow us at our, I'll post it down below. I believe it's Journey Back to Basics on Instagram and Facebook. So go follow us on Instagram and I'll see you over there.